Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be going over the Patron Battle Royale 50. This was an Edison tournament that happened in early January. 45 players, and the winner, just a big surprise there, Vayu Turbo again. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but you do see very consistent results with Vayu Turbo, with Blackwings, with many decks, but I have to say, most of all, this year we've seen Vayu Turbo win a big number of tournaments. Vayu Turbo won the RBT Vienna, even though, Gigavise was the story of that tournament, but Vayu Turbo won also the Winners Ball pirated by Televisual. So there's a lot of tournaments where, this year that Vayu is taking down. Of course, it changes year by year. It's, sometimes decks just go, have their year or go off. Like this year, you will see like also Gladiator Beast is really excelling. Kind of want to go more specifically into how this list by JKDAD won and some of the replays from the tournament. So first of all, we have here in the top 8, we have a lot of Gladiator Beasts. We have 4 Gladiator Beasts, which is kind of crazy. You see a lot of them have similar lineups. I have to say, you have a version 41 cards, 42, 43 cards. They all play 3 traps, and some that play Waboku, some that play only, I think, just kind of off the top of my head, some play Shrink, some play Cold Wave, just kind of a couple different takes on this deck. Some play I think they're all playing the hero package with the Stratos and 2 Prisma. They vary in the number of the GB monsters they have, so some have 2 Darius, some have 2 of just 1 Darius, and but you see GB is really, I mean, this year I'm not necessarily surprised, but like it's really kind of making noise this year. Third place was Lightsworn. This is an interesting list. Lightsworn with traps. Okay, interesting to see. Kind of tricky that people expecting a threatening role, they can get the Mirror Force. And then you have 2 Vayu and 1 Hero Frog. This is a Hero Frog with the Grizzly. So interesting take here as well. And I think I know Scrub for Life. I mean all these players to get top 8 are good players, but I think Scrub for Life has gotten many results in the past as well. Just going kind of more specifically into kind of the deck representation, you have Vayu Turbo with 11 players. I think most represented Blackwing with 10. Surprised that no Blackwings made it to the top 8, but it just wasn't the day. 6 Gladiator Beasts and 4 of them made it to top 8. I mean, this is, I think, in a way can maybe tell you that like to play deck like Gladiator Beasts, on average you probably need to have higher skill or higher kind of expertise. So I think when you do run against Gladiator Beast players, it's not the deck on its own that's scary, because the deck is quite good, but I think just the fact that you're playing against somebody who most likely knows all the ins and outs of the deck. Then you have 4 Lightsworn, 3 Dragon Turbo, Frog Monarch, not many Hero Frog, only 2 Hero Frog. Interesting to see. You see here, in the top we had 4 Gladiator Beasts, which is crazy, 2 Vayu, 1 Lightsworn, 1 Hero Frog, and I mean a lot of the kind of the most usual main deck and top side deck cards. Not much I think is changing here. Crow, Tornado, Cyber Dragon, Oppression, Foster Dyna, pulling the rug. Okay, a little bit surprising that this is so high up there, but I think if you have so many Vayu Turbo and Blackwing, they play this a lot. And then you have Sirocco, the most played main deck card. Okay, let's go over the deck list for a second. This is the list by Vayu Turbo. I want to be really focused on kind of just going over this deck specifically. I can't cover everything in one video, so and I am a Vayu Turbo player, so for me it's very interesting. So here we see, first of all, the first thing that I always look for in a Vayu Turbo is what the Lightsworn engine they're playing, how many Raikos, how many if they're playing the Hamster. And here you do see players in the past like play 3 Hamster or at least 2 Hamster and so on. Here you see a very kind of a very rationalized decision to play 3 Raiko and only 1 Hamster. I like this a lot because I've said this many times. when I play Vayu, the games I lose is when I draw too many Raikos and Hamster and I'm just too slow. And so even, you know, in my list I don't even play Hamster. I play 2 Raikos, 1 Lyra and cut the Hamster. I do think, you know, you can try it, and I will try it to play back, to put it back in the deck at some point. But yeah, I like this split 3-in-1. I like that he's playing Charge. Not everybody plays Charge, but I think that's, you know, maybe one of the best cards in the deck, because it just gets you Grave going, gets you set up, sets up so many other plays, and then of course searches your card as well. You have, yeah, the rest of the deck, I mean, it's pretty standard. One thing that's a bit interesting is double Caius. This is usually you see 1 played. Double Caius makes sense here for a couple reasons. Number one, you're playing the Hamster Raiko, so people are more likely to leave your monster there because they don't want to attack into the Raiko. They don't want to, you know, to basically get punished by the flip effects. So it makes sense to have a Caius. And the second reason why this makes sense, because you see here 2 Deck Devastation Virus main, and I mean, yeah, this interesting decision to have this in the main. You do see a lot of decks kind of have a different version of this. Like, I think even the famous Scissor 41 Vayu Turbo has this in the main. So interesting choice. I don't know if, you know, this is good against every deck, to, you know, against enough decks to make sense having both, like having 2 copies in the main, you know. But in a deck like this where you have Sirocco, you have all the synchros from Vayu, you have the Caius, the Arkham, Ghost, you have so many ways to make this live that usually it's gonna be live, it's not a problem. And then you have, I mean, pretty hefty trap lineup, double Bottomless, double Deep Prison, Mirror Force, Return, Judgment, Torrential Trio, Dash Shoot. Yeah, just basically all good traps. Not everybody plays like double Deep Prison, not everybody plays double Mirror Force. Some people don't play the Judgment, but I really agree with this lineup. You know, the one thing that I think I'm curious to see, interested to see, is this Deck Devastation Virus, how it played out in the games. In the side you have 2 Cyber Dragons, you have Crow, Paki, 1 Kaiko, Book of Moon, interesting side deck option. I think this could be good against like opposing Kaikos, Pakis, and all that. It's basically like an anti-side deck card against Vanities. You have Vortex, Mind Control, especially for the mirror match. My Body's a Shield, interesting as well. I think this could be quite good if you're like pushing to plays. I've tried this in the Blackwings, and this is quite good, and especially if you're playing against Blackwing or against Vayu, and you're afraid they're gonna Deck Devastation you. This is quite good. I mean, very interesting tech. And then 2 Dust Tornado, 2 Pull in the Rug, 2 Oppression. Yeah, that makes sense. That's quite standard. The extra deck, I think at this point, has been solved for Vayu Turbo. You have everybody just kind of plays exactly the same extra deck. Some people play 3 Armed Wing, but I don't think you really need to. So yeah, just a very sensible list, very nice list, and let's go into some replays. Okay, we're starting with the quarterfinals. We have JKDAD on Vayu Turbo against Blue Bandit 12. We're gonna kind of keep ahead a little bit. He's playing Gladiator Beast. I mean, half of the people were playing this, so that shoots the cat, which is quite good that he had the dash shoot there, because yeah, that can get annoying. So he goes into the Caius gets rid of the Chariot. That's pretty big. Yeah, so the Caius, you see, is very strong when you can kind of do it like this way. He doesn't trust himself to Raiko this because he might have some protection, I guess. So he prisons that, and then or he wants Raiko to hit the back row and then goes to attack. There's double D prison set, so I think one is gonna come out here. Very sensible play to tribute the Raiko. You don't want to leave anything on the field, you know, 4GB to attack and start getting presses. Here, I think this is a little bit of a mistake. Just if I can pause for a second, not to necessarily criticize, but when you summon Dark Arm and there's multiple back row, you know, when you use prayer, you want to hit the. I think you always want to hit the monster, simply because you know, if they have a back row, they have bottom way, something, they're gonna chain that anyway, and you don't know which one you're hitting. So for example, here he got punished because he hit the bottomless, and then the other one was set, the Mirror Force. So I think here he kind of yeah, like he got unlucky too. It was 50-50, but I think if you hit the monster, that's a safe thing to play, and then they're gonna bottomless you, and yes, you're still gonna attack into the mirror force in this situation, but at least you kill the monster. So I think my advice in general, when summoning something, of course with the Kairos, because it's also banishes, but when you're summoning Dark Arm Dragon, you really want to, if there's a monster there, you really, when back row set, you want to hit the monster first with your Prio effect. Unless they have, unless you're leading to like my body as a shield or something like that. But that is not the case here. I think you definitely want to hit the monster first. Now you're in a little bit of trouble because now he only has this, which 21,000 attack monster, which is very scary. But you see, this is the thing. Like once you give them one thing, like now you're kind of in a little bit of trouble. Like he needs to, like now he's gonna add more things. Like you see, like it's kind of like really easy for this for the GB deck to come back and kind of hurt you. So luckily you do the Grepher, which was huge in this situation because otherwise he would be stuck. He has also the Gardener in the grave, so this is great. Yeah, he goes for this, and he doesn't believe that he top decked Battle Tap, so he lets him attack. I mean, very very interesting mind game there. Blue Bandit tried to get him to to use the Gardener there. I don't know. I mean, kind of. You see this type. I like this type of tricky plays with GBs. Like, here, very smart to brain control first because you do want to play around the Chariot when you can. He goes into Catastro. Catastro is also good against GBs, not when they have Chariot, unfortunately. So now I think you need to Judgment that. Yeah. So luckily he has a Judgment as protection, but goes. You have the Bestiary now. Bestiary, again, he's there to, that's kind of the only point with Catastro is that its effect is mandatory, so you can't really play around the Chariot with it. So, but what are you gonna do? So we have here, the Bestiary doesn't attack. He's reading into something, but we have Oppression now, but it gets bottomless, it gets shrunk, so this got saved, and now you're in a lot of trouble if you're a Vayu Turbo player. All you have is a Vayu, and there's not much you can do. You're gonna crash this into that, and then you can summon. Yeah, this banishes too. Like it's not gonna really work. So we have the Deep Prison could save him. Yeah, so he decided not to attack for a turn, which, okay, I understand you're afraid of a Deep Prison, but then you attack the turn after anyway. So summons these, you have to Torrenture, goes with that, yeah, that's game. I mean, yeah, that was, once they get so far ahead, like they self-fusioning, like it's very difficult to keep up with them. So that's kind of, I think to me the scariest part about GB is that if any attack goes through, then like you're in trouble. He has goals here, which is interesting. Not every GB player plays this, but you see a lot more players play it because goals is a type of card that can really punish, not necessarily bad players, but players who are not careful. Well played by JKDAD not to attack with Unwind leading into the goals. So yeah, very well played by him. He goes into Cyber Dragon, goes into Test Tiger. Yeah, here he's gonna start basically popping stuff. Grepher gets scared. He's kind of getting ahead here because now he gets the Bestiary. Bestiary becomes a fear spell for a second. He has both Judgment and Chariot. He doesn't Judgment here. I disagree with this. I strongly disagree with this. Because you have the Chariot which can protect you. Like by not Judgmenting here, you basically give the opportunity to your opponent to basically do this to you. I think it was worth the Judgmenting. Of course, we have the information, we know the hands and all that, but I don't know. I think this might have been a mistake. Of course, you don't know that for sure. Like you're afraid you're gonna die if you Judgment, but like none of this could have happened because the Grepher would have gotten Judgmented, or I don't think this would have been able to happen. Would have gotten Charioted if you Judgmented. So yeah, I mean, of course, I guess like it could have happened anyway, but it would have happened main phase 2 because the Grepher could have attacked over, and then in main phase 2 you could have still used the effect. But yeah, that was a good game, very tough game. I mean, all the games against Gladiator Beast are tough, but yeah, that was the quarterfinals. Let's go to the semifinals. Into the semifinals, we have JKDAD against Kitsko 0, and he's playing Lightsworn. Okay, so Lightsworn made it to top 4, and you see here a decent start. Magana into the Garna just for some extra protection. He's gonna negate, and then he's gonna probably deprison this. He wants to keep this on the field because he has Caius, so it makes sense that, you know, now you understand the starting play here. Yeah, very kind of interesting decision to deck the decision. It might have been a bit premature because yeah, I don't know, but this Lightsworn is also playing Cyber Dagger in the main deck, which is kind of interesting to see. He has Beckoning Light, doesn't tribute. Yeah, here you have kind of a, I don't know if I love the Cyber Dagger because you have Celestia. I don't know, maybe just another Lightsworn would be better. He has completely bricked and there's nothing he can do here, so I just came. That was game 1, but you see very interesting things you can do with the Caius here. You can send Necro to protect your things and then set up a Caius play for the turn. You have Plague Spreader going to Brio. Brio is going to bounce this. Doesn't want to give him anything in the grave, even though he already has that name. He's going to negate the Garna. He's really into the Honest. Oh, he plays around the Honest as well, so yeah, that well played by him. Beckoning Light, discard the hand. He has double Honest now. This is going to be quite difficult to play around. Bounces this again. He knows now, of course, about the Honest. Sets 2, and now Rumina activates the effect. Plays right into the oppression. That's not what he was hoping to run into, but Honest on Lyra makes sense because you know about Judgment on Lyra, you know about the Honest, so you don't want him to clear board. This could be game if he doesn't have anything, and yeah, it is game. Very well played, very well played to play around the Honest. Like, I mean, this was, yeah, just congratulations to him. You have you play this kind of perfectly, I have to say, because like it's not so easy to play around everything. He read into the Honest. Afterwards he knew about it, of course, but he also, I have to say, he got, you know, drew the right cards at the right time also to play around it. But yeah, well played by JKDAD, and let's go into the final. In the final we have JKDAD against Morph. We're gonna fast forward here and see what happens. This is Gladiator Beast, so he had to beat quite a tough matchup. So here he decided he could have waited and just left the goals up, but I think he knows he's playing against Gladiator Beast, and if he summons the goals, it's going to get destroyed at the end of the battle phase. So he starts by setting his whole hand, and this also hides the fact that he has goals for the future. So goes into Test Tiger, brings a Bestiary. Bestiary is quite strong here. Torrential here is good, but yeah, he has the Solemn Judgment. Can go into this now. This pops the back row. Yeah, this is just everything, just doing everything. He has the goals, but he doesn't play it here because he knows he can bring back something to kill the goal. So first he attacks here, but I mean, he's going to be able to do that at some point anyway. So you could make an argument that, you know, you kind of cooked either way, because okay, this can bring this back, but then these can go into the Gizeros, and Gizeros can pop everything anyway. That's a pretty good draw, but it's not going to be enough most likely, because this is going to still get more advantage. The positive thing is that, you know, this is not hurting you for that much yet. Goes into this, gets rid of the Vayu, Starlight Road, and I think that's game. Yeah, that nothing you can do there. Yeah, just very scary when GBs gets going. So game 1 goes to Morph. We have good start with the Garna into the Vayu. You negate this because you're reading into a shrink of some type, and so okay, you can't, you know, you would have just crashed here, but makes sense. You want to save your Grepher. Grepher just gets you so much value in this deck, and now you're far ahead. You can go into Guardian, perhaps summon this back. I don't think you want to though, because then you give him something to attack. So that's the other thing. Against GBs, you have to kind of play in this way. So yes, attacks with the Guardian. You again don't want to take this back. Don't need to set the Raikou, you don't need it at this point, so now just keep attacking, getting advantage. He gets this this Armwing bounced. I guess like you could have bounced the Guardian, but he chose the Armwing because he doesn't want to give him an extra Vayu target. So okay, Torrential, so actually well played by him. Torrential, he top decks the barrier, and that's just gonna be game. Yeah, that's so that we're going to game 3. Very interesting final. The GB starts with the Compulse and Tornado. This is gonna attack into a Raikou. Makes sense. Raikou mirrors just a Sirocco. And then you have Vayu. You don't have a great hand if you're the Vayu player, I have to say. He needs to use Judgment very soon against the Trapsan. That Trapsan gets really frustrating in this against this deck. He has a Deep Prison, so this my body is not going to help you there, but it does. It might help you in some other point. Gardener is huge here to protect. So you have the Gardener again. You can summon the Armor Master. He has Trapsan. Trapsan again, it's one of those cards that is very strong in GBs because it gets your attacks through, but at the same time you have to, you know, it's not always the best card, especially when you're in the late game. So he goes to Stratos. Stratos just yeah, very good, attacks over. Adds a Prisma. This Prisma with the Test Ego can start doing some shenanigans. So he has the Gizarus, and I think, let's see what we're gonna see here. So this can go into the Gizarus now, but yeah, this is huge because you have the My Body as a Shield, which comes in, which basically wins in the game. That's what I was talking about. This is very interesting tech in the side. And I was very curious to see how it played out, and given the fact that there were 4 GB players in the top 8, I think this did put in a lot of work, and you saw it here, won in the game. Without that, he would have popped both, and then I don't know. I mean, this would have been another trap or another card, but yeah, this was the perfect card in this situation because yeah, without being able to destroy, this is just gonna attack and go for game in 2 turns. So very well played. Congratulations to JKDAD. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and subscribe.